Okay, so uh, uh, good evening to our Madam Engineering Society, Madam Sahizlin. My name is Aidan Vera. My code is 05 DKM24F1030.
And my name is McPraiseteen. My matrix is 05 DKM24F1042.
Okay, so both of us today we have chosen our topic, which is carbon emission from students and staff transportation. The title for this topic will be reducing carbon emissions from daily transportation among students and staff at Polytechnic Kuching Sarawak. The theme will be green and sustainable campus among students and staff. Okay, next. Okay, so for the synopsis is that you can see that transportation, of course, is a major source of greenhouse gas, which is called the GHG. It's a greenhouse gas emissions. It's a major source of greenhouse gas emissions globally, and in educational institutions, daily commuting contributes significantly to the total carbon footprint. Most students and staff depend on private vehicles such as cars and motorcycles. And as we know, global CO2 levels are now higher than any point in the last 800,000 years. And the statistic here shows that petrol really, petrol is the release the most CO2 per kilometer, which is 366. What is it? Is it? Yeah, it's grams. and and you can see the electric such as solar that is or run by gas, they are less, which is 79 and 160 CO2 per kilometer. Next. Okay, for the background, at Polytechnic Kuching Sarawak, about 70 to 80% of commuters use personal vehicles daily, especially right now where most of the seniors didn't have their asrama, so they travel by their own vehicles or by bus. And each uh, commuters travel distance is around 10 to 15 kilometers. From this results in several tons of CO2 emissions per year, affecting both campus air quality and sustainable goals. As you can see the picture there, it is quite hazy. Like you can see like there's fog, which is like what do you say, Jerebu. Okay, that is all for the background. Okay, I will pass this presentation to Mac, which is the impact.
So I will get on to the analysis impact for the environment. When we analyze the environmental impact, we can see multiple layers of harm. First, the burning of fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxides that directly contribute to climate change and air pollution. Second, continuous fuel consumption means faster depletion of non renewable resources like petrol and diesel. And finally, transportation related noise and particulate emissions disturb the natural surroundings of our campus. Together, these effects create a less healthy and less sustainable environment for both current and future generations. Now, let's analyze its impact in our PKS community. Looking closer at the campus community, the effects are also very noticeable. Traffic congestions during peak hours, especially in the morning and after classes, causes frustration, delays, and increased fuel uses. Poor air quality from exhaust fumes can also lead to health issues like headaches and respiratory discomfort. From a reputation standpoint, excessive emissions and congestions give PKS a negative image when it comes to sustainability. Finally, higher use of private vehicles increase cost for everyone. More fuel spending, more maintenance, and limited parking spaces. These are all daily issues that can be improved through greener transport practices. So now let's move on to the ethical issues concerned. This issue is not just environmental, it's also ethical. Every student and staff has a moral duty to minimize their personal impact on the planet. However, there's also an equity concern. Some people might not have access to greener options like electric vehicles or public transport. That's why it's important for PKS as an institution to lead by example. As an educational body, PKS has an ethical responsibility to encourage sustainable habits and to ensure that everyone, regardless of income, has fair access to green transportation initiatives.
Okay, and as for me, I will be presenting on the proposed solution. So, of course, every issue we has a solution. So, for this, okay, to reduce carbon emissions effectively, we can use a green engineering approach. First, by encouraging carpooling and ride sharing, students and staff who live nearby areas can share rides instead of driving individually. This reduces the total number of vehicles and help ease parking congestions. Also, because parking at PKS are very limited, small, and second, PKS could also collaborate with public transport providers to offer discounted or dedicated routes for students and staff. For example, the Pink Bus. Making buses more accessible and affordable encourages people to switch from personal vehicles to cleaner, shared modes of transport. In addition, promoting non-motorized transportation such as cycling and walking can make a big difference. By creating safe bicycle lanes and shared walkways, PKS can make these options more practical and appealing, which is on the next slide. Electric vehicles incentives can also be introduced. Okay, install EV charging points it and reward usage. So these charging stations offer also can so the reward usage such as parking discounts for electric cars and motorcycles. Finally, launching awareness campaigns like Go Green to PKS will help educate the community on the environmental impact of the transport choices. By combining these actions, we can foster a culture of sustainable across campus. And the next slide will also be an improvement method. Next slide. Okay, so this improvement method involves SDG 11 and SDG 13 and also SDG 7. So SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals, a set of 17 interconnected global goals adopted by United Nations in 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So these efforts align strongly with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. For example, SDG 11, which focuses on sustainable cities and communities, encourages eco-friendly transportation and system. SDG as for SDG 11, which is climate action, highlights the need to reduce emissions and strengthens resilience against climate impact. And as for SDG 7, affordable and clean energy supports the use of cleaner technologies such as electric vehicles. By connecting PKS's transportation initiatives to these goals, we ensure our action contribute to a global movement towards sustainability. And as for the next improvement method, we have conduct annual carbon footprint surveys at PKS. We also reward green commuters with certificates or incentives, integrate sustainable topics into orientation and co-curricular programs, collaborate with local authorities for bicycle sharing programs. So, to ensure long-term improvement, PKS can conduct an annual carbon footprint survey to measure progress and identify areas that needed attention. To encourage participation, the campus re- could reward green commuters, those who use bicycles, carpool, or public transport with certificates, can provide them with certificates and small incentives. Next, also be the sustainability topics can also be integrated into orientation programs and curricular activities. So new students learns the importance of eco-friendly commuting from the start. Finally, PKS can collaborate with local authorities to develop bicycle sharing system, making green transport more convenient and widely available. That's all for the improvement methods and the solutions.
All right, to conclude our case study, shows that daily transportation among students and staff at Polytechnic Kuching Sarawak contributes significantly to the campus's overall carbon emissions. Most of these emissions come from private vehicles, which not only harm the environment but also affect air quality, fuel cost, and the comfort of our community. By applying green engineering solutions such as carpooling, using public transport, promoting cycling and walking, and encouraging electric vehicle use, we can greatly reduce these emissions. These initiatives also align with the Sustainable Development Goals, our SDG, especially climate action and sustainable communities. If everyone at PKS takes small steps toward greener travel, together we can build a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable campus, one that truly leads by example in environmental responsibility. Thank- And these are our references. Got them from, yes. And that is all from us. Thank you very much.